Okay? So that's S and A. Okay? Now, the moment you start, so the objective in the enhancement phase, the S and A, is that aspect of making things and the teaching and the learning as efficient as possible. But the moment you want to now go to the effectiveness, meaning better way to teach M and R phase already. Okay? You're now going to the M and R phase already. Now, when do you now start going to the modification phase? Ask yourself, have you designed that task to use the technology to bring transformational learning opportunities? Normally for the M, the idea here is the concept of collaboration. Okay? Because in this case, the students will be able to use different tools and share their ideas and work together, concept, an idea, and output to life. Okay. The moment you now say, oh, hindi ganyan. Ang gusto kong gawin is totally redefine the way I teach a certain concept. Then I go to redefinition. So it's opportunities for online collaboration, expert feedback, and innovative use of technology. So there are three ways. If I say I am a science perspective, if I say I want to teach about the circulatory system, if I just show them, here's in YouTube a video of the circulatory system, that is simply substitution. If I go to a site which has the circulatory system and it allows me to mouse over a heart, mouse over the veins, mouse over the capillaries, and it tells me what they are, the parts of it, and it tells me what the purpose of each one is, it is augmentation. Because it cannot normally be done in a book very interactively. So at that level, ang nangyayari lang doon is a very efficient way of communicating information. Now, when you go transformation, yun yung sinasabi ni Ma'am Del that you go higher to the Bloom's taxonomy. Nandun ka na sa higher order thinking skills. And it's usually done through the activities and the performance tasks that you ask your students to do. If you now ask the students to collaborate and create their own circulatory system of an alien, okay, then it is a modification by building what the circulatory system is. But the moment you ask them, okay, given all of your circulatory system ideas for an alien, how does a zombie circulate blood? How does an alien who lives outside think your circulatory system be? The moment you now ask, okay, lahat ng output ninyo, ibibigay ko sa isang doktor na ang expert ay pulmonary and he or she will comment on that one, then that's right now a redefinition of your task. Okay? Because your objective is for the student, you're now looking at it from an effectiveness perspective. It's more than just regurgitating the facts of the parts of the circulatory system, but it is also more understanding already, this is the circulatory systems, this is the purpose of each one of them. How do I now learn more about that circulatory system and say, okay, do you really need the capillary? Do you really need the vein? Do you really need a heart? Yung mga ganong klaseng questions, the students can now start asking, and it goes to the M and R phases or M and R stages already. Now, the key thing at the M is the fact that it's collaboration. Okay, a lot of students coming together and coming out with an output that normally cannot be done just by a single person, or it can be done by a single person, but it will take him more time and more research. The moment you bring in other people outside, that's one key that you're now doing redefinition or rethinking the way a certain tool will be used. Okay? So, to illustrate this one, let me now ask you to connect to, we'll play a game muna. And this is the game that I want everyone to play. This is a game that my son's Filipino teacher played with his students. So I will call on one person and say this tongue twister 3 times very quickly. I'll call someone na hindi pa nagsasalita. Si Angela. Angela, 3 times as quickly as you can.
Yes, sir. Pitong puting pating, pitong puting pating, pating, pitong puting pating.
Okay. Sige. That's na. Hirap pa, no, Angela? Okay. Harold, if you think that is difficult, Harold, dito. Harold? 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 Okay. Wala yata si Harold. Ina?
Mekaniko ni Monico ang makina ng minika ni Monica. Mekaniko ni Monico ang makina ng minika ni Monica. Mekaniko ni Monico ang makina ng minika ni Monica.
Galing. Okay, and the last one is this one. Let me call on Jan. Can you try this one?
Same, sir.
Hindi, next one. Sorry, next one. Do you see the new one, Jan?
Not yet, sir. Same pa rin po.
Okay. Bumili ako ng bituka ng butike sa butika.
Bumili ako ng bituka ng butiki sa butika. Bumili ako ng bituka ng butiki sa butika. Bumili ako ng bituka ng butiki sa butika.
Ay, that was fun. What is this? S, A, M, or R? What do you think? S, A, M, or R?
S, sir. S, sir, I think.
S. This is simply an S. This is simply an S. But even though it is an S, it is a fun S. And that is where both interactivity comes in and being able to communicate the point across or your learning outcome across to your student. So this is an example wherein it simply uses PowerPoint, but it is a substitution in the SAMR perspective, but does it get the effectiveness across? Yes. So I basically also broke my own rule na sinabi kong pag efficiency, SNA, pag effectiveness, MNR also. Because that's the traditional boundary. To make your learning as efficient as possible, just try substituting or doing an augmentation. But if you want to do a transformation, you do a modification or redefinition. In this case, it is a simple substitution, but so that's one. It's a simple S, but it does the job well. And it is a nice S when I listen to my son doing it. Okay? Now, let me go to Padlet. And what I'd like to do is, can everyone go to this chat session, to this, to this link. In the chat box, I put there a link. Can you click on that link? And what I want you to do is, I'll call on someone and we'll have an exercise. Okay? And let me just check my network because I'm getting choppy. Okay, sige. Okay pa ako. Can I have a thumbs up to check if everyone is in that Padlet page already? Okay, Emil is there. MC is there. Okay, Aiza is there. Sel is there. Sed is there. Manuel is there. Okay. So if you're there already, what we will do is, again, I am using Padlet in a different way. This is a matching game. So how are you going to do this? For each card, there is a stoplight icon on the right-hand side. If I click on that, there is an option called Connect to a Post. If you click on that, the card that you want to connect to will be blinking, and there are the other cards will have a connect link there. So if I say connect to this, an arrow will appear. If I want to deconnect it, I will click on the 3 again and say disconnect from post, and there. Okay, may isang excited ng mag-connect. Sino kaya yun? Okay, so what you will do, what one person will do, I will call on one person and then click and connect them. Okay, Manuel, can you start ito? So I will call on Manuel, Sed, Isa, and Rosie. Okay, choose si Manuel muna bago si Sed, then si Isa, then si Rosie. Choose one, Manuel, and then connect. Then everyone else join in by thinking and try matching it out in your mind, not on the screen. Okay na, Manuel? Okay. Okay, that's yours, Manuel. Note-taking substitution. Okay, Sid, you can now go start. Okay, Sid says, student convert a Google Doc. Okay. Let's now go to Isa. Isa, your turn. What do you want to connect? Or tapos ka na? Okay, sige, you're connecting. Okay, so 4 people have connected already. Okay, I'll call some more kasi meron pang extra. Michelle, saan yun sa'yo? Connect. Father Roberto also and Emil. So Michelle, Father Roberto, and Emil, start connecting. Okay. Okay, sige. So we have already some people answering it. So I'll just put some of that together. Okay, so whoever's doing the connection, thank you. May isa na lang tayo. Dalawa pa. Where do you think those 2 go? Okay. Okay, may dalawang connect. Okay, here's where the problem starts coming in. Okay. Who are correct? This is correct. Insert an image. So the ones that are correct, I will remove. This is correct. Insert an image. type a paragraph in MS Word is also correct. Integrate an Excel spreadsheet into an MS Word doc. That is correct. Teachers can return graded materials online with a track online comment. Yes, that is this one. Okay. Use Google Docs to divide the work and then modify each other's work. Yes. A student converts a Google Doc into slides for presentation. Yes. And send to a Google ambassador. Yes. So those are the ones. Okay. Now, the last two are the ones which are problematic. Use TOC and footnoting features of Word to generate the layout automatically when changed. This one has substitution or modification. Okay. I will tell you it's not substitution. So that one is wrong. So I will disconnect this one. Okay. May isang nag-comment, augmentation, and then may isang modification. Okay. So between the thing that you're now going to ask is it individual or is it collaborative? That's the first test. If it's individual, it belongs to augmentation. Okay? In this case, it is individual. So the correct answer for this one is more augmentation. Okay, so it is augmentation. So dito yan. Okay, how about submitting a work online? Definitely, it is not substitution. Why? Because you can't do that in real life unless talagang gusto mong guluhin yung teacher mo ng gabing-gabi para i-substitute. So it's not that one. Is it making things more efficient or is it making things more collaborative? So between the two, the test is the question of efficiency, individual versus collaborative. The correct answer to this one is going to be more augmentation. Okay. So this is a fun activity again. Could I have done this in real life, IRL? Do you think I could have done this IRL? Yes, I can. Right? I can do this because it's just blackboard, the cards, and then matching. So this activity is still individually is. But because I am collaborating with everyone, it now became an M. And this is a collaboration online. Okay? If this were done in a classroom type na lab, it's a simple S because I just transferred the traditional activity into a lab work. Then it's just an S. But because we're doing this in different places and umuulan and whatever, okay, it moved simply from just being a substitution to a modification already. Okay? So any questions for this one? Does everyone now see the difference at least for substitution and modification? Okay. The next thing I'd like to do in the remaining period is this one. For Miss Chell, okay, she used Padlet very creatively for doing a pros and cons and learning the issues and concerns with regards to using technology. What I'm going to present to you is an alternative to the situation of Ma'am Shell. And that is there a tool that will allow me to do a debate by presenting a pro and a con? The tool that I will show you is a tool called Kialo.com. Okay? So the link for Kialo is, I will put it in the chat box, is Kialo.com. Okay? If you go to kialo.com, there is an option for, I hope I can, there is an option for Educ and, okay, for educators, oh, sorry. Wrong. Yun, educators and for private and public use. Make sure if you don't have an account, you will create an account. But there is a link for for educators, kialo-edu.com. Okay? But the starting point is kialo.com. So the link is kialo-edu.com. And what this will allow you to do is it will allow you to post a statement, okay, or a proposition that you want your students to present the pros and cons. So this is my own one. Okay. What I will do is I will create one. How do I create one? Upper right, there is a button. Okay. And I can say private or public. Students can see it for now. Okay. Students will have to have their accounts in Kialo. So it's your choice. But if you don't want your students to create accounts here, make it public. If you want your students to create accounts here to make it more secure, then make it private. So I'll create a public one. Okay. And I will select a discussion. Ay, sorry ha. Back. Okay. Okay. I will post a single, okay? And the single thesis is my proposition. In this case, for example, the earth is round. And then I will enter the discussion details. So technology. This is the discussion title. Technology makes things easier in education. And then you have the discussion language and so on. Now, if you want a reading or an article for them to read as a jumping point, you can put here add link. If not, then you can just tell them, this is our proposition, argue pros or cons. Then I say next. If I want to upload, then I can upload. If not, then I can invite friends and these will be your students. For now, I won't. But what will happen here is that if a student wants to make a supporting statement, he will click on pro. And then just to control the argument, you tell the student one support statement for every card. So if you say technology makes things easier in education, it makes submitting homeworks easier. And then I click on save. Okay. If I want to add one more, it says it makes learning fun. Say, not all students have good internet connection. Say, so it can be one level, but what can happen right now is if a student would like to put another supporting statement for not all students have good internet connection, and you say, yes, this is true, you will say, Philippines has the lowest internet speed. Tapos pwede silang mag-add ng link. and then save. There. And what you will see on the top is parang an org chart of the proposition and the support and the opposite, the cons, the pros and the cons of each and every one of them. And you can just click on each one, okay, and it will change the perspective every time. Okay, so question, and I will turn this over to you naman. Is this an S, an A, an M, or an R? S, A, M, or R? Someone posted on the chat. Emil says M. Rosie says M. Sige. I will not answer this one first. So Emil, Rosie said M. To everyone who said M, you're correct. It is M. Okay? Because it can be done individually, but if your objective is to everyone to debate, then you need to share this and it's more collaboration. If I share this to a lawyer and the lawyer comments on each and every one of them, then it starts becoming an R. Okay? Or if I give this to John, for example, and say, John, gawa ka ng ano dito, ng documentary based on whatever all of this is, then it also becomes an R aspect there. Okay? So that's another tool. So it's 2:20. I'm conscious about the time. I've shown you 3 activities. One simply using PowerPoint, one simply using Padlet, another one using Kialo. In each and every one of them, it proves the statement of Ma'am Del, which says, it's not the technology that dictates the summer. It is the teacher and your pedagogy on how you're going to use the technology itself. Because the technology can be as simple as what do you call this, as PowerPoint or something as simple as this one. But how you're going to use it will determine where you are and what stage in the summer model you are using. Okay? In the traditional sense, it's easy to pinpoint where you are in summer kasi noon face-to-face and integrate mo, ipapasok mo talaga yun software and technology in your classes. This one, the platform is technology, which really allows for collaboration already. So most of you might have been doing M's and R's already without you even knowing it at the end of the day. Okay? So what I will leave you, and this is moving forward to the next week, is this. If you're a teacher in grade school, high school, and you're looking for a lot of tools, I will post in Canvas this site. This is a Google site that I created when I do seminars for schools to make them aware of a lot of technologies that they can use. The concern usually is we're sometimes stuck with the technology we know. Like I said, Kahoot lang. Tapos magsasawa yung estudyante sa Kahoot. Okay? But did you know that there are other online quiz tools like Quizzes, Triventi, and Quizalize? Each and every one of them have their own unique perspectives in giving an online quiz. If you want to do music and arts, here are the tools. You have Incredibox, Google Art 3D, Arts, Tinkercad is created by AutoCAD, and it's free for teachers, for students. So you can actually do 3D modeling using Tinkercad. Okay, you have the Chrome Music Lab, which I showed you already. For those who are teaching Filipino, ang sad kasi napaka-content ko. Sana may mga isa sa mga students namin na gumawa ng Filipino app. And these sites, guess who created them? They are Phil-Amps, not Filipinos pa ang gumawa niyan. So these are sites for dictionary, Tagalog dictionary, audios, and so on. So that's Filipino. I have here a set of images and video content. Khan Academy stock, play posit, ting link. Okay. If you want to learn a foreign language, I've shown you. If you want to create, don't know if you have a .edu, Canva, the one where you can create infographics, creates them for you. Okay, it's free. So canva.com. If you're teaching math, the most popular tool is GeoGebra. If you want to do the ones who are teaching English here, there is digital storytelling. You have Imagine Forest storyboard, storymaker. There are a lot of digital storytelling tools, and there's a digital video interact. So what I will do is I will post this and play with the content, because the next topic is going to draw on this one. I'm not saying you do all of this. It's just pili lang kayo ng interesting sa inyo, and then just choose maybe one or two to play around with. And what I will do is by next week, one of the things that you're going to ask, saan kaya nakuha ni Sir Bong ang sangkatutak nitong mga apps na ito? What I will do is I will tell you my secret of searching. Because it takes a certain skill also to search. And something that you will also, I think a lot of you as teachers already know, for a 1-hour lecture natin ngayon, it takes us sometimes 3 hours for preparation. Kasi, kunyari, I create a 15-minute video for my class in seniors. I have to do the script, I have to do the slide, I have to take I have to video myself. Kung hindi nyo napansin, meron akong ring light which I will turn on. O ayan, ring light ko yan. I'm pretty sure some of you have your own ring lights. And add all of that up. It's a 2-hour work just for a 15-minute video. But if you make that video properly, the students will learn even though you are not there in class. Okay? Even if you're not even giving a synchronous class. That's what I mean. Okay? So that is where I will stop. I would love to show this to you some more. But what I will do, like I said, is I'll post this, give you some guides on how to do each and every one of them, so that you can, on your own, play with it, and then we'll use this as a jumping point for our discussion on Saturday next week. So thank you very much. I hope you learned, even in this 1 hour, some tips and tricks and 3 apps that you can use for your own classes to try out. Okay. So, Ma'am Del, I will turn it over to you.
Okay. Also for next week, not really for next week, but you start preparing if you have a copy of your plantilla or a scope and sequence, because one of the requirements that we will request from you is to use a plantilla or a scope and sequence that you have in school. Okay, and you don't have to make an original one, but if you have something in your school, just prepare it. So that probably next week you will see one of the things that we will request you to do, but then it's not going to be due for next week either. So we will still explain that, but we will already put it in our, probably in module 2. Okay, so that you have ample time to study it and then to look at it and to be able to submit it towards the end of the semester. Okay. So that's all for now. Any questions? Any clarifications you'd like to make? May comments ba kayo sa Word?
Ma'am, question.
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, for Sir
Michelle?
Bong, sir, those videos that you showed, like the one a while ago, na alala ko po tuloy, yung CK, and then the other videos
Oh,
that you shared in Canvas.
yes.
Sir, those paki-enlighten lang po ako kung tama po yung pagkaintindi ko. So, basically, if we are going to use those and meron po kaming nakitang related sa topics namin na nandoon po dun sa mga sites na yon. So, we'll just let our students to visit the site. Ganun po ba yun? Or they really need to sign in or ano po?
Okay. Doon kunyari sa YouTube, for example, kunyari itong I'll show you the one that I showed kanina. Share the screen. Ito. Okay. Itong CK12 Flix, itong mga ito, hindi kailangan mag-login. So there are sites wherein the students don't need to log in. This is interesting because this is a site really made for science and math, and it does simulation. So I'll show you one, kunyari, biology. And the one that I think I remember in my biology class is the DNA GCTA. Guanine, thiamine, adenine, and whatever. The last one, CGACT. So this is the simulation. Yun, magmamatch kayo dyan. Okay? So this one, okay lang ito na free. So the students, you just give them the link, the one on the top. Okay? And that's the one that the students will get at the end of the day. You can also click on embed. So here, there is a option. So there's a ellipse. If you click on that one and click on embed, you can copy this HTML page. I think the rule, the ano here is this. There are some of you in your schools who use some sort of learning management system, whether Henyo, whether Google Classroom, or whatever. Okay? In some cases, you need to embed a certain URL link. Kung hindi proper yung embedding ninyo, ang mangyayari is you will encounter the same error that you saw in my page. Magkakaroon kayo noong gray blank screen na yon. So, you sometimes might just need to copy this, one of these two, either at least in Plix, these these codes, and then put it in your web page. Now, to be honest, iba-iba kasi yung inyong LMS, in Henyo, in Google Classroom, and whatever. One of the things you might need to ask is kung sino yung inyong IT person there to help you out embed it. But, Ma'am Michelle, the easiest one nga is just copy the URL and then put it in your website or give it to the students, and usually they will be directed there. For some sites like kialo.com, they might be required to come up with an account. Or if you make it, for example, in this case, public, then all you have to do is give the link to your student and they don't need to create the account. So not all of them will be allowed. Some of the apps that I will show you require the students to log in. Some of them don't need to. So I can't give a general blanket statement that yes, all you have to do is copy and then paste it. Okay? Kasi depende. There are some which are compatible or not. Okay? I saw someone in the chat.
Thank you, sir.
Sige. Father Bobby wants to know how to do the word cloud. Very quickly, how do you do the word cloud? There is a site called wordclouds.com, Father. Wordclouds.com. And it's simple. All you have to do is click on File, and then you can open a text file. The rule here is has to be a text file, not a Word file, not whatever. .txt. So I will open a text file. Actually, I created one already, which is word cloud example. And then automatic na yung father. Ayan na. Gagawa na siya. Eh, ang pangit kasi po nito, father. So, papalitan ko lang po ng shape. Gagawin kong siyang circle. So, ayan na. Ba't hindi naging circle? Naging diamond. Okay, sige. So, here. So, ay, wait. Okay, parang nawala lang. Sorry ah. I will share again. Share my, nag-pause siya. So all I have to do, if you didn't see that, open the file, open text file, and then it will create it for you. All you have to do is now start changing the size, the shape, my cat, my Pac-Man, and then you can have the word list, and then the size, and it's pretty much how it works, Father. So there, that's how you do the word cloud, Father. I hope that answers your question, Father.
Salamat po.
So there. Lahat na rin po, so there's no problem with that one. Okay. Okay, so I'll stop here. It's interesting, okay? But I'll just do this also. And you can ask how to do other things through that section that I will open on Monday with all of these tools already in place. Don't worry, I will be there to guide you along the way if you want to try out things. Okay. So thank you. Ma'am Del? Ma'am Del, nakamute ka po.
That's about it for today, sir. And students, marami-rami na yon. Over na ang screen time. Over ang ating screen time for
Okay,
today.
over na screen, overexposed na yung
Okay.
screen time ko.
Overexposed. Okay.
But to finalize,
Thank you,
Ma'am Del, next Saturday is 9 to 12 na tayo.
Yeah, 9
Just
to
to
12.
peg
Yes,
time. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
9 to 12. And our next module will be uploaded on Wednesday, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay.
The slides of this one I will also upload for today, and everything that I did also will be uploaded also.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Sige,
Bye-bye.
salamat.
Good afternoon.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Okay.
Muito
Thank you
obrigado.
po. Goodbye po.
Thank you po. Ingat.